Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer.
Good evening and welcome back to draw number 6 of the 2025 Men's Provincial Curling Championship here at the Capital Winter Club. We are here behind sheet number 3 tonight. We are following along Team Renee Comeau out of the Capital Winter Club. The boys in the bright white curling coats. And then we have Team Kennedy out of Curl Moncton, senior bronze medalist winners at the national event back in December. I am joined here in the booth tonight with a father of one of the competitors out on the ice. Not right now. They'll be playing tomorrow morning at 9:30. Jeff Stewart. Jeff, thanks for coming on.
Hey, good evening, Steve. Glad to be here. This is great to be here at the Capital Winter Club. I missed the first couple of draws, so I'm interested to come and watch these guys and have a look at these ice conditions. It's usually pretty awesome here at the Capital Club. Always enjoyable to come and play on, so wonder how things are going here today so far.
Things have been going pretty good. Haven't heard any complaints about the ice. Most of the complaints are about people leaving warm body parts on the ice.
Yes, happens. Maybe it's those senior guys that aren't getting up off the ice quick enough anymore.
That's, yeah. So, while we follow along these two teams, other teams out on the ice as well. We have over on sheet 1, we have Brody Hansen versus Scott Jones. Scott coming off of an A division semifinal loss, looking to bounce back with this game. On sheet 2, we have Rajan Dalrymple versus Zach Eldridge, and that is a B division game. So the winner of that will continue on in the B division. The loser will drop to the C. So no issues there. So that B divisions are on 1 and 2, and over here on 3 as well. This is a B division game as well. And then over on sheet 4 is where it's interesting, because we have Trevor Hansen, the other Hansen brother, facing off Ryan Kane. And they are in the C division. So the winner continues on, the loser calls it a night. So those are kind of the games that we'll be keeping you up to date with right now.
We had an interesting miss here on the sheet 3. I don't know if this has been common this weekend to see Early Rock in the first end take a big curl off the outside. They were playing the intern or clockwise rotation, I guess, and it kind of curled off a little bit soft weight. So it looks like Team Comeau has have an opportunity to draw for 2 here early.
A big scrub here from the boys, and they do get it on. They curl in our Tuesday and Thursday night men's league, and I've been on the unfortunate side of the loss. Well, I mean, I get the free beer, but
Would you say the ice conditions here on this weekend would be a little bit different than a weekly?
They would be a lot different. Flood was put on here. We had the mixed double super series in town.
Yes, great event.
So
I
yeah,
was watching a bit of that online, and and sort of just amazing to have those world-class teams here at this location.
And we're gonna have some of them again.
They're coming back.
They're coming back for the World Mixed Doubles.
Did they book B&B for a couple months and stay around and shoot some rocks?
No. Many of them were on their way to I think Brampton, Ontario.
Okay.
That's where their next tour stop was taking them.
So essentially, they were planning to play right through in Canada, right through till April.
Yeah.
Is that right? That's quite a commitment.
Yeah. Some of the teams were still competing against each other. We had 2 Norwegian teams here competing against each other to be their world representative and Olympic hopeful.
Well, it's a great stop here at Capital, most times for any event, and have that world-class talent. I hope you had lots of folks in here grabbing a cold beverage and watching that kind of action. So.
We sure did. And one thing I took away from that was the players stayed behind.
Did they?
They stayed behind. They chatted with everybody, the fans, the other players that they were playing against. So like it was very different compared to what you normally see during a tournament weekend, where you come off the ice, you might have that drink, and then you bounce to get food because you're right back at it.
Right.
About 2 hours later.
So that was, would you say that was, you had some Asian folks here as well as Europeans?
We had 2 teams from Japan, one from South Korea, a team from Poland,
Wow.
the 2 Norwegian teams, the number 1 team in the world from Estonia.
Excellent. And did they win the event, I believe?
And
right?
they won the event, yeah.
Right. So we got a few more folks here playing this men's game. These folks are trying to play down to a spot, go to the Briar. Must have 1 or 2 of them on the ice here at this shift that have been to the Briar, I think.
I think everybody at one point on the Kennedy team has been there at least once.
Yep.
We have Dean Grattan over on sheet 4 as a coach has been to the Briar.
Coach Grattan, yes indeed.
Team Jones in their current formation have been.
Yep. So Briar kind of class play right here in Fredericton.
And I know Ryan Kane has been our junior champion back in 25 years ago in 2000.
You mentioned juniors, and there's a number of juniors playing in this event as well. Junior level.
Junior level.
Just fresh out of.
And it's great to see them play up as Kennedy makes his hit for 1.
And they're running right with the older guys, are they? Keeping them sharp?
They are. And I'm just looking out here too. And I want to point out too, Mike Flannery Jr., he's a graduate of the Curling Club Championships.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Winning that with his father and myself actually in 2014 representing New Brunswick in Halifax. So we've used that tournament and that type of thing to introduce him to competitive curling, aside from being on the sideline. So
often very family-focused event, but great to see juniors out here playing in a Briar class field. Essentially, all these teams are very tough to play, and these juniors are going to get some lessons and give a few everything here this weekend, I think.
I've heard from a certain engineering professor that juniors were the teachers in one game.
I think I read
and
that.
I think it was your son's team.
I think I remember who the certain engineering professor might be. Well, he's a great guy for sure. He's done some coaching himself, now doing a lot of play. I've watched Trevor and participated against him. He just loves curling. And I don't think he, as much as he would like to win, just enjoys a really good game on any side of the scoreboard, any part. And I'm sure he enjoyed those lessons, and he'll be looking forward to the next game against those guys.
Yeah.
See if he can get some revenge. We're getting some build up here, I guess, from Team Kennedy with nice position in the top of the 8-foot and a center guard coming down. How would you expect these guys? You're quite familiar, maybe not with the Kennedy team as much, but certainly Comeau's. They also had a tough loss, I think, this afternoon. Really tight game, and maybe unexpected outcome.
Unexpected, especially being the number 1 seed.
Yes, and so rebounding from that with a good game tonight is very important for them. I expect. Yeah, it's a long event still. You have to have 3 losses to be getting your ticket to the golf course. So
yeah. And you don't want to get your two losses early because it is a long road to hoe
And I think
to
that's
get back.
where experience will come through. I played in the Tankard here before many years ago, and watched it quite recently and see the teams that do come through on Saturday and Sunday that they're starting to peak at their game. That experience level of taking a loss and recover and learn and develop is very important. You see it a lot. Now the junior teams aren't so good at that.
No.
They might have a bit of a meltdown and think about what if I did this or that, and they're still thinking about yesterday's game when they're supposed to be playing the one they're on. But they're getting better. They've had a lot of training. I know that Dalrymple team out there has been to a number of junior national events, and they're ready to play with the big guys right now, make some big shots, and show them what they can do.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of like the age gaps that are here. Of course, like the young Dalrymple team, they're like in that 19 to 20-year-old range. I said, but then you get
Hansen.
Evan Hansen's out there. Evan Hansen's on his way to U18
Exactly. Yeah.
at 16 years old.
Yeah.
So
Amazing, right?
so we have that large age gap here.
But he's out here and playing with his dad, first of all, very important.
Yeah.
Or the other way around as well, playing with his son, Trevor, to do that. So that's a great experience. Going to the national together, they're going to have a very well-developed curling family. So it's really starting to pick up here. I think this would be sort of an important shot here for Comeau to run this and clear this front. They really would like to score this end, I think. It's an even end. Gave up one in the first, or actually did a force, so it was good. Big backswing there. We don't see that very much.
Oh, and Trevor, that's Trevor's signature move, and he started that about 4 years ago, working on that to get it as he clears everything off in the front.
Nice peel weight. He's getting that up above his hip there on the backswing.
Yeah.
Almost as high as an old fellow I used to play with called Greg Mackin.
Oh, yeah.
Man, oh man. Brian Mackin's brother, a little brother, I should say, but boy, he could lift that rock up high. That's great to see out there. I really don't see that very often at all. His signature move, you said.
His signature move, yeah. Anytime that Renee's looking for a big hit, that's what he does.
I used to swing the rock when I first started curling, and I found that the weight of that rock was often taking me up the center line.
Yeah.
And it was hard to throw to the outside with that kind of a shot. But that's down the middle. Give it a rip. I'm going to time one of those the next time I see it, because I bet he's tearing it down there close to 6 seconds.
My dad went from backswing to no backswing, and his slide became of one where only a mother would like it. Kind of like Guy Hemmings.
Soft touch game. Soft touch. That's what he went for. Alex Robichaud is a shooter here now, isn't it? No, not yet.
Nope,
Alex
nope.
Not up yet.
And he does
a little bit of a back line hit and roll kind of a shot, I think. Curling maybe a little more than they expected. I got a 15.4. Wow, that's pretty quick on that ice surface. Joe's got it running pretty good here today.
Oh, he does.
One of the best icebreakers in the province here at Capital Winter Club, I think. Is he up? You guys had to loan him out for a couple of weeks back in and send him up to Moncton.
We sent him up to Moncton. Yeah, he looked after getting the other side all done up for friends up in Curl Moncton for their senior national event. I had an opportunity to go up there and volunteer for a couple shifts, just support and knowing what type of weight needs to be pulled in order for those events to be to happen.
Oh, it's volunteers like you, Steve, that we need here. This game, every club needs them, and a lot of clubs have them. A lot of good stock of volunteers. That's what it takes to run these kind of events. It doesn't just happen when you invite the curlers over and say, "Go play for us."
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that goes into an event like this to make it run smoothly, first of all. Ice conditions are a big factor, building preparation, all kinds of stuff. It's great stuff. Looks like Kennedy folks are easily finding that draw weight, putting lots of yellows in there and really putting some pressure on Team Comeau. definitely have the force set up here. It's a wide open house. I would expect Comeau to score one at least in this game. And big double, cross-house double happening here. That's the plan anyway.
One. Gonna get over the top.
Got it a bit thick and went across the top of the yellow and didn't execute that. But you know, there's two blues in the corner there behind that corner guard, and Grant Odishaw is having a look at those, and they're a little bit.
Two blues in there, and both Yellowstones behind the tee line, wide open.
Yeah, I think Grant's making a great choice here. You don't like having those rocks build up. If he was to you know, throw his own other rock on rings were the other one, and they make the double. Now you're looking at 3, so pretty important for him to make this one. Make one go away for sure.
Yeah.
That smooth as silk Mark LeClock curling delivery. He is. He's been throwing a lot of rocks over the years, and that's always a pretty consistent throw. And he gets a nice double off the back corner. Get rid of those blues.
And when you have a shot made like that, it's easy to get discouraged as the opposing skip, because you're looking at them, you're hoping that they're gonna kind of stick around or miss, and you can capitalize.
How long have you been involved in the game of curling, Steve?
I've been.
You said you mentioned your dad, I think it was.
Yeah, so I grew up in Fredericton Junction, down out at the Gladstone Curling Club. So I've been involved in the sport. I've been pushing rocks up and down the sheet since I was 3. I've been throwing rocks in true form since I was about 5.
Awesome.
So I'm
kind of curling club kids.
Yeah, pretty much, and it really helped having the service spiel, so their large fundraiser that they have every year on my birthday.
On your birthday.
So, yeah, every year I'd spend my birthday at the curling club with Dean Mott, Sean Mott's dad.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Bryce Allen. So Bryce was a gentleman that served in the Navy with my grandfather. So a lot of.
Oh, the Gladstone Curling Club is an awesome place to go and play and visit and socialize and.
I haven't stepped foot in the ice shed since they've insulated it, put the dehumidifier in it. So I still think of going out there when it's minus 32 outside, it's minus 31 inside, because that wooden wall gives you some insulation.
Well, you mentioned growing up in the curling club, essentially, and I've been around the curling club. I was one of those kids who was behind the glass and wondering when mom or dad was going to come back off the ice pretty soon. So that was some time ago. But I always say to folks when I start talking about this is the kids that grow up in the curling club they're usually great people and great citizens. You know, they see great role models in the curling club, people that volunteer, people that respect other people, and you know, and play the game competitively as they can, and have a good time socially. And it's a great place to be. You should bring your kids. You got a big Little Rock curling program here at the Capital Winter Club, I'm sure.
Yeah, Sundays are jam-packed from about 11 o'clock on with half sheeters, full sheeter Little Rocks, and then our junior program.
Fantastic.
Our competitive junior program, they have the ice from about 8 o'clock in the morning to 10, part of our leadership development program. So
awesome. Rene threw that with quite a bit of weight. I think he was trying to get that to move over a little bit towards that other rock. You know, Mike Kennedy threw a great draw in there, right on the tee line. Didn't set up a double. Now he's got to be a little bit careful with this one. He doesn't want to roll out, and he doesn't want to roll too far away. Ideally, he'd like to roll a little bit to. I think if he hits it right on the nose. With Rene's ability to throw that big weight, he'll probably make that double. You know, they've had a couple of tries throwing down that path.
Yeah.
A team like that, they get a third try. Pretty good chance they're going to make it. See what Mr. Kennedy does. Boy, Mike's been throwing a lot of rocks for a lot of years. Been in some good, tough games, and as you said, bronze medalist this year. Former, did he make the world championship? I believe he did.
Former world champion with Wayne Talon and
Yes.
Mike Flannery and Wade Blanchard and Chuck Kingston.
I knew that guy from somewhere. He hangs on. He hangs on our banner, on a banner down at the Thistle Club, because Wade Blanchard, a proud member down at our club and a great volunteer himself, great teammate. He's been on a number of banners, and Mike's right there with his great team that was that year in 2014, if I remember right.
Yeah, that was 2014. Yeah, we get the national one and the world one hanging in the lounge downstairs.
Boys are lining up the double here. You know, this is a small half rock double, just a little bit under half rock. Well, he's switching the turn here. It's coming at the in-turn side versus those out-turns that they threw down a few times.
Trying to play the gear effect.
Yep. It's the last rock. One of the things that you often see here, the first, second end, this type of shot has center line, a little bit more pebble on it.
And she's going to go.
Then, because they do those last shot draws, everything's coming from the outside in. So the center line sometimes, more often the first end than the second. I hate to say by now it's pretty even, but so this was grabbing pebble really and moving over a little bit. So it's not getting the roll he was expecting.
I think he got enough of it though.
He did.
Grant's going to take a look. Grant's going to indicate, and that is one blue. After 2 ends of play, we're all tied up, one apiece.
Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso.
Good evening and welcome back to draw number 6 of the 2025 Men's Provincial Curling Championship here at the Capital Winter Club. We're following the events on sheet number 3 between Team Rene Comeau and Team Mike Kennedy. Comeau out of the Capital Winter Club, Kennedy out of Curl Moncton. 2 ends of play, everything's all tied up. So we're right now into an 8-end game, just like league play.
Just like league play. Well, I think these guys are going to really set up a battle on this end, I'm guessing. They are used to the speed of the ice. You know, all this hitting's getting boring, so they're going to start throwing rocks in the middle and throwing freezes on top of that, and then there'll be another freeze on top of that, and then at some point somebody will say, well, we should run this back and take a hit. So
my bet's on Trevor.
Your bet's on Trevor throwing at that one? Well, we'll see what happens, right? I mean, you often see this pattern of all these rocks in the middle, and then boom, 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 and we have a blank. But I think that's going to happen in this situation. Team Comeau just guiding this one right in.
No real panic.
No, they're right in exactly where they wanted it. These guys are number 1 seed, you said.
Yeah.
That's what give the most number of CTRS points, I believe is how they rank them.
Yep.
These guys have been traveling around a little bit, playing and gathering some of those.
Yeah, they've gone as far as Arizona.
Arizona. Who plays in Arizona?
Apparently them and James Groton.
Oh.
James was at the
They went down to the same event and ended up in the same pool, didn't they? I saw that actually. So what was the outcome of that grudge match?
I think Grattan get that one, but they did finish 2-3, and yes, it's on the losing side of the record, but to go that far, compete and win, and knowing that it's a bit of an invitational, so it's the best of the best.
Yeah, well, I saw that. There was a number of teams from out west that well known, so high quality curling that event.
Yeah.
I bet you there was some, well, maybe not so high quality golfing that was included at some point.
No,
Nope,
yeah,
didn't have time for that trip.
Yeah, no. I think what is it? Top flight golf. I think that's the most golfing that they get to do.
Oh,
The driving range.
Oh,
whatever
really?
whatever that company's called.
They just didn't have time. Just checking the ice speed here. This draw's coming in. I got a 15-second, 15.15 actually from my site. My eyesight needs a little variance from this distance though, Steve.
No, that would track. So I was in St. Andrews a couple weeks ago for the women's event, and the Vern Lister down there. Vern and Joe have worked hand in hand with a lot of the national events. So like both of them kind of their ice making techniques are about the same. Vern had it up to about 15.4 to 15.7 to the button. So like they like the teams were already on like Scotty's type ice.
Yes.
As far as speed goes, and as far as curl went, couldn't have asked for better curl. A couple spotty rocks, but it's the rock. It's not the ice. So Joe here, we've just installed heaters. We've got, and that one just rubbing off the front there. Yeah, we've got the heater. So Joe's dialing everything in, getting the speed set so that whoever wins this is used to fast ice that they'll see it in Kelowna, BC at the Montana Briar.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those guys have been working hard and they're very studious at that. Every building needs a little bit of tweaking and adjustments, even the weather, that kind of stuff. And those guys are really good at the craft.
So my bet was wrong. Trevor's not throwing the blast. Vance on his first one, just wicking the front yellow, so allowing Team Comeau to throw a guard and take a sigh of relief for a little bit. Vance just playing the peel here. Hoping to catch something on the way by.
Are we going to... Oh, Renee's probably not going to send that bomber down there, I guess.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I guess he's probably sitting number one from my vantage. I guess he's got a piece of the 4-foot.
Yeah, just he's...
Want to guard his own rock right now. Looking for a chance for the drawing for two later on. There's an experienced guy there, Alex, both at the men's level, coaching level, mixed doubles level.
Yeah,
great player for sure, and he's delivering a nice guard down here.
One thing I learned this last weekend at the Super Series, Alex and his mixed doubles partner Melissa are ranked 27th in the world. Of course, they've just come off a trip to the Olympic trials.
Yep, we were cheering for them there. They're working hard at that discipline. It's a great one for sure. They're seeing some success. I saw them, I watched them online when they were out in the BC qualifying event and had a great weekend. They played well, earned their spot.
They were on the outside looking in, and they peaked right at the right time.
Exactly. That's what you need to do in this game. That's what's going to happen this weekend, I think, Steve. Lots of great teams here. Oh, look at that shot. Oh.
That is...
That was kind of sneaky there to get in there and pick that blue out of the middle and then get the shot rock.
Yeah.
Wow. Renee's he's
He's in a little bit of
he's gonna
disbelief.
wrestle with that thought for a moment here as he figures out how to rework this in. Suddenly he's looking at yellow building up the middle, and he thought he had them wired there for at least one. So
Yeah.
got some work to do now.
That's that wily old veteran Mark Lecoq.
Oh, can't count those guys out. They don't give up. I think I was here in the Caspiel just before Christmas, and those guys snuck a few shots through a couple of holes there in the eighth end coming home and won a game. I think I remember that moment.
Yeah.
Looked like they were down early and fought back.
Nothing really. They've been here before. It doesn't phase them anymore.
So we'll see who gets hot this weekend, I guess. I'm looking forward to being around here all this weekend, see this great curling. I can't throw them as well anymore, so I don't play. But, this one's curling hard on them towards that guard. It was a good option to pick the guard off anyway, but not the outcome that Renee was expecting here about a minute and a half ago.
No. The silver lining is any Yellowstone that does get thrown, everything's going to be clustered.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Looks like he's trying to maybe hit that and roll into the center line. The best cluster in that sense, Steve, I think would be sort of half covering the back rock, half behind the front rock, sort of lined up in a straight line. It's difficult to remove all three of that thing.
Yeah.
But we're getting late in the end here, and
that's a big scrub.
You're getting caught in that curly spot again, just exactly like the first end. That curled up quite a bit more than they expected. He made an awesome one on the first one and kind of fell down a little bit on that one. So when he left that Comeau rock out on the 12-foot, which could be interesting, if Rene can figure out how to get a good one here and a good roll and a lucky break, he might be able to get a two out of this end yet.
Yep.
So if we're curlers, right?
Yeah.
So if this happens and that happens and this guy falls down and ties his shoes together,
Speaking of fall, took a tumble over on yesterday, and I see they've taken that unit out of the ice.
I know I've hoped and prayed on a lot of shots. Don't turn out the way I was expecting. I think he's looking to make a little soft, or no, not too soft, normal weight hit here. Center line rock, maybe stay in front of the other yellow. He might have been trying to draw up a little bit of a double and roll. Now that rock that he's left there is not going to help him. That's partially behind that yellow tight guard. It can be certainly pushed back for to get rid of the yellow, but I'm not sure it would be easy to score. Mr. Kennedy coming down here to throw his first rock. The Kennedy team has last rock in this situation. He has a blue one to the outside. Oh, sorry, he's throwing yellow. He's got a nice secure one in the 8-foot, right under a couple of guards. He's going to throw one to the left side of the sheet from where we're looking. Attempt to lie 2 and essentially force Rene into hitting the open one and get a 2 out of this end.
So how Vance?
He wouldn't be disappointed if it was sort of a little bit on an angle towards that blue for a bit of protection. Meaning a little bit higher in the house, just about there. Definitely number 2, which might tempt Rene into a attempted double. I don't know if he's going to take it on or not. He's certainly can throw the hard weight to make it. The angles looks like about a foot or so, maybe a foot and a half of depth difference, but 6 feet of distance, and that's he's going to have to rip this one down here pretty hard to make that double. The other option here would be an in-turn draw around the middle and lie a second one back of the 4-foot. and a force. But he's a hitter, I think.
Yeah,
Haven't watched Rene a lot, but so far what I've seen is he likes to hit stuff.
yeah, he certainly does. But he's also had his draw weight here
Is that right?
all weekend long. It's been
Now these old wily guys he's playing with the gray hairs, they're more of a soft touch
yeah.
team, I think. They like to junk it up, make angle raises, push rocks back. Not so much of a hit it hard and make it go away kind of team. So this one looks like he's coming up on the inside of this one. He's going to have to work it hard to hold it and get a piece of that. Ew, it was close to hitting that other blue on the outside. Looks like Mike has the open draw for a 2, which would be big in this game. Early in the scoreboard, good control.
First time we've seen conversion with hammer.
But it's not made yet. This kind of a fast ice really, it's not hard to throw it a bit long and slip into the 12-foot. Mark and Vance are going to guide this one down there. They've swept a lot of those rocks for those guys and couldn't ask for a better pair up there looking after this rock.
Only thing I hope is that Mark doesn't break another broom. 2020 tankard here, I think he did that on sheet 4. The whole broom just collapsed in his. Anyway.
Hope he didn't hurt himself. That's a 2 on the board.
2 on the board. And after 3 ends of play, it is a 3-1 lead for Mike Kennedy.
Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer.
Good evening and welcome back to draw number 6 here at the 2025 Men's Provincial Curling Championship at the Capital Winter Club. I'm joined with Stuart. Jeff's young fella Jamie is playing in this field as well. He's in the A qualifier tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Jeff, how do you feel about that, being on this side of the glass?
Well, I'm excited actually. It's interesting. I'm experiencing some of the sort of new things here. This sort of starts way a long time ago for us. We're a curling family, and I've been coaching Jamie since he was big enough to push him down the ice, and we've, had had a lot of losses along the way, but he kept with it, and he's really worked hard the last few years, and had some good fortune as well. Great teammates and some good experiences. He's representing UNB again this year at the U.S. Championships out in Lethbridge. So I got my bags packed and I'm ready to go. I want to watch this kid play. And I also had the great fortune to be on the ice here at the Capital Winter Club last January or February, sorry, and to be on the ice as a coach and to watch those guys play in a solid weekend of performance. And what a proud moment for a guy like me who loves curling and to see your kid grow up and be able to make those kinds of shots. And I believe this weekend, he's already been making a few more of them. He's got some great teammates, great shooters themselves, great sweepers. And somehow he's 3-0 here in this field. And you got to have some good fortune in curling as well. But they've worked hard at it. He's got some great experienced junior players with him, former junior players. And here they are. They're going up against the defending champ tomorrow morning in the first A section game. So
not only the defending champ, a 16-time representative.
we're not looking at the numbers. We're just looking at the guy who's no, James Cratton is always in there. He wins games. He plays. He makes those big shots. And I was around when they named him Jimmy the Kid. We sat in our curling club because we had a couple of members from our curling club on that curling team and watched him his run at the Briar as kids just about as young as Jamie was. And they were here. They were going to university, throwing rocks and making shots, and it was over and over. It was awesome. So, I'm a little bit excited to see what happens tomorrow. First game in the morning. Every time you're still in the tournament and you got 3 more games to play, you're in good shape. So, triple knockout, anything can happen. But tomorrow's a new curling day. You never know what's going to happen. I'm excited to get up early and come down here and just watch them play, see what happens. As I understand, just want to mention Capital again. Jamie's come up to university here at UNB, grew up at the Thistle Curling Club in St. John, and always think he's always been a member. But you guys, this Capital Winter Club family has really welcomed those kids here in town. The Sean Ballon is from Nova Scotia,
right?
Yeah. And Capital likes to see winning teams out here, but those guys, I understand, play in the league every week with you guys, and
yeah,
they're playing tough, as I hear.
They've spanked me a time or two Thursday nights.
Well, they're not really doing it on purpose.
I have to make a shot.
You're supposed to do your part and give them really good hard shots to play. So, anyway, it's appreciative as a father, knowing that your kids being welcomed into a curling club and given challenging games and supported and all that stuff that you guys do here for your teams and members. And it's just nice to know he's being looked after when he's out of town, if you put it that way. I think he's got people coming up, maybe some folks that know us a little bit, congratulations, keep going, good luck.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know who these folks are, but they're wishing him well, and he's taking it as best he can. That's part of a thing you need to adjust to, though, as well. James would have how many years of doing that when people, congratulations, James, good game. Well, yeah, I had a lot of good games.
Yeah.
No big deal. But to have somebody, when you're new at that, a bit of a fan, you have to be able to manage that within your brain, and they're going to be out on the ice tomorrow morning, as I understand, 1 game, right? And so it's going to be pretty quiet out there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a final, essentially. It's an A-section final. It's not the final of the weekend, but it's in a very important game. And now every rock is everybody's going to be watching you. There's no place to hide. And there's a mental adjustment that's necessary for any curler, first of all. And they say the more finals you can get into, the more often you might win one. But it's a different atmosphere that those kids will need to adjust to tomorrow, where James is quite comfortable in that environment. So James and his team, his whole team, is very experienced as well. Well, I'm not sure if we've had a pick rock here. It's certainly an unfortunate break going against Team Comeau right now, which will leave their rock on the 4-foot wide open for a nice hit and roll. I think that will leave Mike Kennedy and team probably lying 2 here.
Yeah, the blue one over on the left rolled just a little too far to outcount sitting up there at the top of the house.
Picks and dirt on the ice and burned rocks and things like that are other sorts of conditions that arise in important games and situations that each player needs to adjust to.
The term that I learned recently is hot foot.
Hot foot, yes, okay.
And Dan Lister was telling me about it, and it's basically the heat radiating from the bottom of your foot into the gripper part of your shoe, causing effectively a flat spot on the ice or a gripper print on the ice.
So if you stand around in one spot too long,
Need to stand, you can just walk up the ice and you can see
I see. Yeah.
the gripper mark. So needing to knowing if you have a hot foot, you need to put a different sole in or different insole in.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You know, the technology that is used in curling shoes and other shoes today is they skimp where they can. Boy, that's a great shot by Tim Comeau right there to come off and roll to the inside. Great shot. After having a pick and a disappointing shot, to come back with that one. That's pretty darn good. So those, yeah, you put those extra insoles. I felt that mine were really thin and
Yeah.
cold, so I can understand that hot foot. And the ice temperature is, kind of warm. As warm as it can be to get that speed, but not too warm, of course. But it's just that sort of that very sensitive point where I can see that hot foot having a. There's lots of sort of used the shoe rubbers as well.
Yep.
These folks play a lot. Club curlers need to know this as well. Just because your good old curling shoes are still working great, you better check the bottom of those curling shoes because they might be sticky with dummy stuff. And you need to spend the $20 and put a new one on.
Yes, I will. I'm not a culprit of the anti-gripper or the anti-slider, but I am the culprit of having probably a pair of shoes that shouldn't have been on the ice.
Hey, I'm with you. I remember sliding down sheet 8 in our club and my foot came out of my shoe because the sole just sort of separated on a big PLA shot. Well, I think it was probably time to change those a couple months ago.
I made the mistake of going and buying a brand new pair of shoes, and then 3 months later participating in what was, I will say at the time, pure agony, but I'm glad I did it. Was the world record.
Right.
And so yeah, ruined a perfectly brand new pair of shoes that should have lasted me 3 years, and it lasted me a year and a half.
And essentially all in one weekend.
Yes.
It was a monumental task to take that on. 120 hours, 3 minutes, and 8.8 seconds. How come you guys couldn't hold out for the 10 seconds? Really, I mean, 8.8. Really, what's another second?
At that point, it was Friday morning rolled around. We didn't know if we were going to make it to Saturday, and we had a short meeting, and big props to one of the organizers, Steve Burns. He's done things before for other charity events, and he kind of said, once you get through it, once you do it, you'll realize the good that it'll cause. And
absolutely.
And talk about rallying the troops. And so we all went back out, and at that point it was volleyball high fives after every shot, whether you made it or whether you didn't. Yeah. Keeping spirits up, because I can honestly tell you, I think I should have been murdered a couple times on the ice. I need my sleep. I am that type of princess.
I see.
So.
Well, while we're chatting about that, and we may come back to it, Mike Kennedy, it's got an interesting situation here. He could come at this from either direction. Comeau decided to go around the corner, went a little bit deep. So Kennedy, though, has to get this yellow rock in here. Chosen the out turn in this sense. I don't know if Mike, I haven't been watching him for a while, if he throws his in better than his outs or curls better that way, but that's the choice he has. Looks like he's probably going to throw back button weight and try to push that yellow right up to the tee line. Mike's made a lot of this kind of a shot before. Great touch player. Smooth as silk in that old delivery. I say old, he's been doing this for a lot of years.
Yep. He and Grant are the two guys that if I'm matching rocks, I want them throwing them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looks like this one really picked up a bit of curl and is heading towards the center line. He's not going to like the outcome here. I think this is going to hit it right in the middle of those two yellows. Probably didn't have quite enough weight on that to hold it before it started going. He's in a bit of trouble here now. I think he's left enough space for Rene to hit that yellow and roll into the inside just a little bit, cover up his shooter, line 2. They're looking at this back and forth, trying to decide who's number 4 in this, number 3 actually, in this situation. There's a blue on the back. Okay, guys, we shouldn't be dancing. It's time to start curling.
Yeah.
We'll measure it later after we figure it out. That's the shot anyway. I mean, it really didn't matter who was 3 or really. It's size up this shot. Players play on time clocks now, and that's sort of a situation there where they kind of might burned another 20 or 30 seconds they didn't need to. My opinion.
Yeah.
What I've seen so far tonight here, Steve, this ice is pretty weight sensitive and release sensitive. So this he's chosen about 6 or 8 inches of ice here, and it looks to me like a kind of a back line kind of weight. Mike, his little tap didn't have much more ice at all, so this one's going to be sort of a back house weight, I think. A little bit more than back house. Wrong guess here by the coach.
There we go.
Here it's starting to move quickly. Really quick and going over hard towards those yellows. It's thrown a 12.46 weight, which would be about a hack waiter. Perfect hit and roll. Maybe he rolled a shade too far, but otherwise perfect. I say shade too far because as Mike's now indicating, maybe I could just
draw right to it.
Draw right to it. If he can sort of plant it on the side of that, he might cut him down to 1. However, that yellow-blue lineup isn't exciting for him. Let's put it that way. Might be nice to add some on-ice mics in this sort of situation here to this Curling Bee Live setup.
We have them. We don't have enough ports in the computer at the moment.
Gotcha.
I have tested them out. They do have range all the way to the other end. So.
Oh yes, it's the sort of thing that you get a chance to listen in and see what they talk about. He's elected to play the yellow-blue tap-up as they weren't sure who was number 3. It looks like sort of a easy thought here to promote the yellow onto the blue, and that'll leave the yellow locked right in there for number 2, and therefore Rene Comeau's team will only be able to draw for 2 this end, which would tie the game, and Mike Kennedy would be very comfortable with that outcome. That intern isn't moving. He's got a little bit more weight than Rene threw. Let's see if they're going to get the curl out of this. They just need a little bit of a promotion. Enough. Blue, yes, he's done it. He's moved it through the back 8 foot. And this should, I don't see it an obvious, but it looks like just the only option is the draw for the second point. Again, that'll just leave the game tied, and Mike will be satisfied with not putting up a 3 or a 4 here.
Yeah.
So. Senior choice right there.
Yeah.
You know, that's something a junior team, if you're watching, you know, he saw his first call as an out-turn draw. Might be pretty good. That would cut him down and maybe force him to 1, but
yeah,
it could turn out real bad. So you want to try to make the easy ones and leave the hardest. So sometimes giving up a 2 is not a bad thing.
And I think this will be the first time we've seen Rene throw a draw all game too. So recognizing that as well.
Yeah, sure. He had a few in practice. Guys know it pretty close. I would expect this to be in the 8 foot for sure. They're just sort of dusting it a little bit, not going too hard yet.
Just need full 8.
You see Mr. Kyle is ready to turn on the gas on that one if needed. 1488 on that one. To the tee line and change. Back 4-4.
So, after 4 ends of play here, we're all tied up. Normally we would say this is the break, but we play 10 ends, so we've got one more end. So we'll go to commercial, we'll come back, cover that, and then we'll take our break.
Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer.
Good evening and welcome back to draw number 6 here at the 2025 Men's Provincial Curling Championship. We've had 4 ends of play. We've had scores put on the board each time. A 1, a 1, a 2, and a 2. And add that all up, it's 3 apiece for Team Comeau out of the Capital Winter Club and Team Mike Kennedy out of Carl Moncton.
I would expect this one to go the full 10 ends and possibly even to the extra end. These are the type of teams that are very evenly matched.
Yeah.
And I expect this to continue for the next couple of ends back and forth. Unless there's some sort of significant game-changing event, like a pick rock or just a tick on a guard in the wrong situation. This one didn't go very deep in an attempt to come around, so they're controlling the top 12, but this gives Team Comeau a chance to get around that into the 4-foot area and get there first. Your ideal shot, I think, in this opening or this start of the game would be about 2 feet deeper, getting to bite the 4-foot. And
yeah,
you don't have a chance to get around it. You just have to lay one on.
And this one's...
That in-turn is really curling hard, harder certainly than the out-turn side. This is for a right-hander, so clockwise, counterclockwise.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit light, perhaps, which will also make the rock curl a little bit more than expected. So they've set up the old angled guards frozen.
Yeah.
Great opportunity for Mike Kennedy to get one right around this, which will bring out the heavy hit in Trevor Krause, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Going to take a moment here, Steve, just to have a look at what's going on in these other sheets. Hansen and Jones are over there throwing football field goals around. It looks like after 4 ends, Jones is up 6-4 over Hansen. Hansen now having last rock, but with 2 in the first and 2 in the third. But those field goals are working pretty well for Team Jones right now.
Yeah.
In the middle sheet, that young Mr. Dalrymple from the Gage Golf and Curling Association is starting to give a little lesson to Team Eldridge. They're up 4-2 after 4 ends. On sheet 4, Team Kane is in a comfortable lead right now, 5-1. And Team Hansen is doing some analysis right now. They're getting out the scientific engineering.
Chief Umpire Catherine McLean is standing out there timing. So Trevor's already burning through his timeout.
Timeouts.
So I'll be interested to see what his clock is at towards the end.
Quickly for the folks who can't see it, Trevor's trying to figure out how to get a rock in here with. He's looking at 2 yellows under cover, already down 5-1 in the ball game so far. Important shot for him to score in this end if he can. Looks like a draw around to the tee line. Back on our sheet, Rocks are starting to clutter up the middle. And I see Trevor Krause flexing some muscles in the back of the hack here right now. He's maybe warming up the high peel coming. We'll see. Well, maybe just a normal weight shot. I don't think he has to bomb it down there. The in-turn double. Can't see it on camera, but Trevor's asking, do you want the heat? Here comes the heat, possibly. Yep, it's up to the hip, and he's off and running with this one. That's great to see. My goodness, brings back some memories.
Yeah, and it first started with the Kui blip in the hack, and
blip, and he picks it perfectly. Nice double, great shot. He did the big high swing, but it really wasn't a heater down there.
No,
he just sort of got out of there at a good, I'd say, normal speed. Team Kennedy will keep coming at you with these draws around the middle, though. They're relentless with that stuff. $15.1 on this draw, Steve. Say a T line should be accessible with this one. Just kind of dusting it into the top four. Yep, nice shot. Renee first indicated the in-turn freeze, sort of stack them up a little bit. Alex is having a discussion from the hack. You folks can't see him, but sort of asking about the out-turn peel and running everything through. I think he's a little bit worried how those rocks are stacking up and if they're going to score any more than one from this. Well, guess Renee won that battle.
Yep.
He's going with the in-turn draw. This is Alex's first rock, so they got a couple more to come yet. Alex, being a very experienced mixed doubles player, knows what happens when things come up the middle. One.
Yeah,
is what happens.
One. Yes.
Didn't get a good look at that time. Alex was in the way, but on my clock I say 15:39, which is a little bit lighter than that other rock.
A little light, gets a little rub.
Still in a good spot for him, I think.
The the thing I noticed about the mixed doubles is the teams that win consistently at it are the ones that are used to having a lot of rocks in that 4-foot button area.
Well, watched enough of it to know that those first couple of rocks are so important. A little bit too long. Get in past the tee line and you sort of get trapped in there. Top four is best, and anything at the top of the house can be promoted, but you gotta control that top 4-foot, top 8-foot area for mixed doubles. Now Grant is going to start to stack up some rocks in the up front. We'll probably see a peel coming down here from Team Comeau next.
And this one's gonna.
Looks like it's a little bit longer than they expected.
Pump and roll and.
Well, all the angles are good though. The yellow, it might be able to slide past that other blue, but I don't think so. It doesn't look easy to make a yellow double. So he's sort of got to probably play an in-turn double on this. Oh, sorry, hit this outside yellow and flop to the middle, but that could make a lot of congestion.
Yeah.
We might see the top blue come straight back into the pile. I'll tell you, just for many years watching Mike Kennedy, he just loves this kind of setup because he's got angled rocks out front there that are all favoring his number one that's sitting on lighting the 4-foot. Well, they think they have a plan here. They think this hit can roll to the inside. To me, that's just going to cluster things up a little bit, but if you can get a small half rock, get a little action, you might be able to spring the yellow out. Alex Robichaud, normal weight hit here. They're trying to get a little curl to the inside. Straight curl, straight, curl, curl, curl. Well, I think it did everything they wanted it to.
And it lines everything up.
Yeah, sure. I think they would have been happy if they just pushed that top blue a hair more to the right. But those two blues that are on the left side of the center line, they're lined right up on that shot rock, so Mike can't leave those ones there. That was a great outcome, I think. Exactly what they wanted. Sometimes you get into an end where you got one on the top 4 foot and you just spend the whole end trying to protect it, and boop, they take it out at the end, score 4. Well, that's how it happens. Get forced into situations like this where they kind of have to. The other option, I would think, is to kind of draw one around. Either turn. Lie 2.
Yeah, that would definitely be an option there as well.
Or a little tap and roll, just mix up the angles a little bit.
I think the important thing for the Kennedy rink right now is to get that second point in there. And start out counting that second blue.
Looks like they're coming at this from the intern side. I think we have all right-handers on this sheet, don't we?
Yes, they all are. They're all normal curlers, as I call them.
Normal.
Me being the lefty, but throwing as a right-handed person. Yeah.
He's playing the in-off this wide card. This is interesting. Didn't look easy to me. Picked one of the harder shots. Certainly know the ice really well. Got lots of action into the middle. Oh, and he's taken that angle away and set up his yellow there. Well, I think he might have wanted to hit that a little harder and move that blue out of the 8 foot.
Probably, yeah. Probably would have liked to get it a little thinner to get it out. I think they hit it too thick, and that energy transfer dissipated everything. But
any physics professors out here that could help us with this? Because
Trevor's the transport one, so
good.
So
he's looking at this smashing this blue yellow on the right hand side.
Yeah,
might be some possible drag towards the center, the shot rock.
Yeah. Trevor Krause is, I believe, is a mechanical engineer.
That's the best guy you need for this situation.
He knows all the dynamics.
Well, actually, the best guy you would need would be the top shooter.
Yeah.
Engineer be damned at that stage. Just give me the guy who can make the shot. Well, they're looking at it. They're really burning some time here. I can't see their clock or anything. But first couple of ends were played pretty quickly, so they should be in good shape.
Both teams have just north of 18 minutes, so.
That's about average, I think.
Yeah,
Well, this game, I think, is going to be this type of end for the rest of the match. So they're going to use a lot of time on these kinds of shots. But that's needed. One of the things that can be done, the front end players, be ready to throw, get the rocks ready. Don't be standing around talking about the latest shows and things, or whatever you missed. Get it ready to go, be ready, and you can really save some time on the clock for your team by
and a big scrub here from Trevor.
Yeah.
Was it close?
And indeed, he actually dragged it into a nose hit on that shot rock. Unbelievable. Did you think?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that was impressive to have the force on the broom to do that.
Well, again, it's interesting what happens in these situations. Grant's looking at that lineup right now. There's a blue yellow onto the yellow.
Yeah.
He's trying to decide what happens when he hits it. which way he hits it.
Yeah, I think you.
The call is obvious here, though. He's going to hit that number 2 blue and try to roll under cover. If he does that, Mike Kennedy's looking really good for a steal in this end. Although not, I think I could see about half of that other blue. So Rene could push that into the yellows on his first one. Mike's having a look, having a chat. Definitely this is the call, the hit and roll here. No guard necessary.
Now, is this the rock that gave him grief last end, or was that just kind of a soft release on a draw?
I just think it was just a little combination of the soft weight, I think was what the problem was with that one. This is over curling on him, though. You may have spotted a symptom of that rock, possibly, or maybe he just underthrew it a bit too. This weight, this ice is great to play on, absolutely fantastic, but one of the things you see is weight sensitivity.
Yeah.
There's a big difference in how the rock breaks from the top, from a rock thrown to the top of the house and the back line.
And the weird part about it is curlers want that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, they do. That's the Joe Mason ice, very becoming popular here. When you come to the Capital Winter Club, you expect it. It's so nice and fast, but the break, the point of the break is different, so different from a rock thrown at the top of the house weight or backline hack. It just, the top house needs 2 more feet of ice almost. It'll just break that much.
Yeah.
Where the hack line will just sort of run a bit.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys that's out there helping him to this weekend, Troy Thibodeau.
Oh yes.
Troy is over there on sheet 1 mopping it right now. I played him on Thursday night last week, and he looks at me. He's like, Muzzer, he's like, I don't understand it. He's like, you're just flopping out of the hack and you're drawing to the button. Yet he's like, I'm pushing out of the hack and I'm barely getting to the I guess hog line or halfway guard. So
this is an interesting shot here when we talk about what happens in a frozen rock situation and the drag effect. How the yellow rock that's in the middle here will move. Well, Rene looks to be a little bit tight on that one, and they were on it early, and seems to me he was a little bit narrow on that. Didn't have the outcome. He got the guard off, but he left that same shot for the future here. But Mike really can't do anything besides throw another one in the house, I think.
Yeah, and I think I'm looking at
my
this.
Apologies.
This
pay
is
attention to that well.
This
So that's a big breaking point here.
For Mike here.
Huge.
Big draw for 3.
That was a risky play by Rene, but again, I think the right one is had to be really close on that.
Yeah, I would have taken a little more ice. If it jammed, you give up 2. It's not the end of the world. It's a one possession game.
Yeah, hitting the guard was disaster. You would expect Mike to put this into the 8-foot as he did last time. Does the ice sort of, this stage of the game, sort of slow down a little bit in the middle, in the later ends, Steve? Have you seen much of that this weekend?
No, haven't really seen it slow down a whole lot. Maybe it changed. Well, I shouldn't say that. Thought it might have slowed down a little bit at the end of our last game. Teams were struggling to get rocks into the house later on in the ends, but also recognizing that it was the first beginning of C division, so teams that have struggled with the ice.
Yeah, 1465 on that one, which to me would just be a little bit slower than it was 2 ends ago.
Yeah.
But again, these old eyes may have misclicked. We're talking about a half a second or so in difference. So my best guess as well, when he's going away from me and the rock can't quite exactly see where the center line is. Anyway, great end by Team Kennedy there. A fortunate break a couple of times.
Yeah.
Scored a 3. And Comeau is going to have a little team meeting here and see how they recover and come back in the second half.
Yeah. So with that, it is a 6-3 game for Team Kennedy as we go into the break.
Proud supporters of Curling NB. Hoop Lasso. Visit www.hooplasso.ca to learn about our mineralizer and to find a retailer near you. BrokerLink Insurance. BrokerLink has a group rate for members of Curling NB. Visit www.brokerlink.ca to get your quote today. The Brennan Icebreaker. The Jake Thomas Celebrity Curling Classic. The Government of New Brunswick. The Curling NB Hall of Fame. Visit www.facebook.com/CNBHOF for all information regarding the Curling NB Hall of Fame and this year's nominations. Egg Farmers Rocks and Rings Program. Visit www.rocksandrings.com to bring the Rocks and Rings program to your school's gymnasium or community function. Sport New Brunswick. Visit www.sportnb.com to learn more. Coaching Association of Canada. Visit www.coach.ca to learn more. And Curling Canada. Visit www.curling.ca to view all future upcoming events.
Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso. Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplaso all-purpose mineralizer.
See how the veteran deals with these upstart kids here today who are 3-0 and lining up against him, and see how they react to the situation. I was saying earlier, it's the only game on the ice, and it's a different sort of mental state to prepare for that game, to participate in it. Of course, I like to curl, but everything's quiet out there in sort of an A final section. Good to see a different game style here now. The Kennedy team had some good fortune the last end, hung a 3 on the board, have a nice control lead of this game, and we saw the double corners go up by Team Comeau, and of course the middle under control by Team Kennedy. But the style before was one center guard and one drawn around and freezes. Now we're Team Comeau is going to try to get a 2 points or more by going with a corner guard system. The old days we used to see sort of corner guard on each side. It's more common now to have 2 guards on the same side. Great shot there to split up those yellows and push them to the back of the rings. You notice they didn't hit it very hard.
No.
And the reason being is that those yellows, once they move past the tee line, are going to be their friends.
Yes.
Mike Kennedy has seen this movie before, though. He's not going to fall into the peeling trap. These guys are more preferring the soft touch game. They don't love rocks in play, and they know that if they can continue to set up those angled situations and clusters around the forefoot, they're comfortable in playing that world, and maybe that's the best way to approach this high-powered Comeau team who likes to hit stuff. Kind of grouping that in. I mean, they get more shots in their tank than just peel weights, but Rene's gonna have to play this type of game, falling right in path of Team Kennedy here to see if he can outshoot them. Got a couple of options here. He could play the in-turn freeze on the shot rock and be behind a guard, or as he's elected to do, the out-turn hit and roll behind the two corner guards that he set up at the start of this end. They're working this one quite a bit to try to get some curl into it, move it over. Looks like they did lots of that, and they're just letting it go straight here. No, changed the option a little bit, didn't get the curl they wanted. Grant ought to show off for Team Kennedy. He's interesting. It's named Team Kennedy, and yet Mike does a lot of sweeping, and Grant does all the strategy calls in the back. I think Grant throws the lead stones with this team, right? Team Kennedy looking for the nose hit here. That rock is moving up now, getting close to the other rock in terms of possible double. Not quite enough yet, I think, Rene. Maybe he'll roll over and hit the back of it, plop underneath. Again, options are play the middle, which is a compressed scoring area, or he could still play that hit and roll behind the corner guards that he set up some time ago. Calling in his mixed double specialist.
Yep.
He's really good around the
around the forefoot. Yes.
Where's the best place to put this? How did we get there? Alex Robichaud, of course, one of the best mixed doubles players. His partner, Melissa. He's holding the broom right in the center of this rock, which means it's probably going to come with a little bit of heat. Looking for a little bit of a roll towards the center line. Yeah, a little bit of heat, I should say. It's low altitude, I think. 6.64 seconds on that.
No,
one.
wow.
Yeah, he threw a little heat on that one. I think his intention was to roll towards the center line, but may have get a little outward motion on that one with that kind of speed. It's not ever going to curl. So it looks like the type of ice where you can throw it a little bit tight and sweep it back if necessary. That kind of speed. Mark Lecoq's second rock. Another draw opportunity. Wants to be in the top of the 8-foot area here. This one looks a little bit fast. It's slowing down now as it comes in. 15.19. I think that would be around the top 12 foot at this stage. Indeed, right where the skipper was looking for it. Well, Team Comeau has the hammer, but they're sort of in a defensive mode here.
Yeah.
The Kennedy is sharp. They're just putting that rock exactly where they want it every time. They're relaxed and comfortable. 3-point lead will do that every time. It's like a soft weight hit here coming from Alex this time. This is going to be a curly spot here. We saw this curl in the fourth end. They're working hard on it, and it's coming up to hit this on the nose. That won't be good. Just grazed the top rock and out through the back. Well, Mike's going to look at this one. I think he's not going to leave him that blue rock raise again. I think he'd probably throw a guard on that, my guess. Line 3. Center line covered by a centered guard. That blue one is the danger rock. Well, he's if he throws that in-turn draw, he's in super aggressive mode here.
Yeah, he's ready to.
Oh, he wants to make Renee's shot as hard as possible this end. If they're able to steal another one, it's probably going to put the game away. Still early in the sixth end, or early in the game, really. 4 more ends to play, but it's. Many teams would just throw a guard on the blue to prevent that raise, but I'm kind of looking at the angles here and thinking there's no real way for that blue to land inside undercover, so when he does make that raise, Mike instead is going to play a little tap. I think that's the ice for the tap.
Yeah, just trying to get a fourth stone in there.
Doesn't really want to tap it on that angle though, because that would leave the blue onto yellow double. It looks good here. It's going to do some curling soon. Might have a little whisker touch on this top rock. Roll a little bit
Over.
Get a little bit more weight than they were hoping for. I don't know which way Team Comeau is going to come at this. He plays down that side and gets around that guard tight. Could make a nice double. This looks like the easier shot to hit it from the out-turn side. His shooter's going to roll away though.
I think the important part is just make sure you hit the outside of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Yeah.
Last one over curled on them. You can certainly. I don't think the triple is quite possible from this angle. It's certainly a double. You can get the 2 shot rock and the second shot. comes the heat. He's going to get a good thin piece of this. Not too bad. Oh, he moved. He moved the 2 for sure. He got the 2. Ended up pretty good for Team Comeau. They're the number 2 rock, right in front of the other yellow. So certainly Kennedy's not going to try to remove that rock. They're just going to guard it up and make them draw to the 4 foot, I think. I don't think there's any sort of double that will be there after this guard is put on top.
Yeah, and I don't know even if how you would get your second point with that little short run.
Well, I think it would be, that rock would be about half open.
Yeah.
And they're pretty close together. So with a hack weight, you could. Oh, I see what you're saying. When he hits that,
When
he wouldn't be.
He still wouldn't be second shot with that yellow stone in the back.
You're right. Yep.
This needing to come down.
Oh, it's pretty good. He's a good spot. It's a draw for 1.
One's down the side. In the second end.
So this will break hard. He doesn't want to be tight on this one. Looks to be good ice. Nice. Guess that's about 4.5 feet of curl. No, my math's not good. 8 foot. Yeah, that's
8 foot, about 4.5 feet of curl. If you're one of our master age curlers, it's probably 6 feet of curl because they throw no handle.
Not quite master age. Almost though.
No wheel rush yet.
I've got a 14.6 on this. This should be good to the T line, I think.
Just needed to grind.
Oh, it's going. Slipped too far.
And slid just a touch too far.
A big steal, I think.
1 yellow for Mike Kennedy to extend his lead by 4, 7-3 at the end of 6.
Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer.
Good evening and welcome back to draw number 6 here at the 2025 Men's Provincial Curling Championship. We're following along here on sheet number 3. Team Kennedy extending their lead 7-3 with a big steal of 1 with Renee's final draw just sliding a little too far back. Of course, ice conditions constantly changing. Ice speeding up.
I'd say it's at the point in the game where the ice conditions are different depending on the spot on the ice. With that particular one, he's a little bit out on the edge of the 8 foot, a little past the 8 foot, and there's still a good amount of pebble out there, and that is time 14.6.
Okay.
As what I had, and I thought that's a good time for the middle of the ice.
Yes.
But he was out a little bit. And just slightly faster. Hadn't thrown very many rocks down there, because that's what'll happen too, right? You have several rocks down the same path. But I think that's the difference. 14.6 out there, slid to the back 4 foot, almost the back 8 foot. That would have been a good number for drawing into the middle about a foot or 2 feet inside that broom. So every curler on the sheet needs to be aware of those things and remember the paths and where we played and these different parts of the game. Curling's hard enough.
No. If it was easy, we'd call it hockey.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Got to give a little credit to those hockey players. They're pretty conditioned athletes, but it's just a stick. You whack it around a puck. It seems easy.
Yeah, yeah.
But when that other guy is coming at you like a freight train, you got to have some talent in getting out of the way, I think. Anyway, I prefer this game for sure. Team Kennedy, I think, will just keep the gas foot on the gas pedal.
Yep.
With the aggressive play, soft touch. They're going to ignore these corner guards. They don't care. Keep putting them up. I'm playing in the middle. Better come and chase me. They're going to keep piling them up, and I think we might have Trevor Krause's 6-second rip down the middle here pretty soon. May not. I think if I was Team Comeau, you got to do everything possible here. We just bump rocks around, push them to the back 8, use them as catchers.
Yes, yeah.
You don't want to just get mad and blast them all out of here. You're not going to score a 3-ender that way. A little bump and roll. I mean, I wouldn't even mind that kind of a bump and roll in front of that one. That would be a good shot. Push one of the yellows to the back 12-foot area. It looks like he's coming with normal weight here. A little softer weight. There's going to be some curl. This side of the ice isn't as much as the other side. It's a pretty good shot. Got the roll over to the right.
Sits in front of all the yellow ones, so.
10.46 he had on that speed.
Yeah. Good control weight.
Does your team use a stopwatch weight system like that, or do you play at this level, Steve?
We.
You're in the beer section at the.
Well, yeah. I'm into the beer league part of my career now.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's good.
But no, still using the hog to hog. 10-4. 10-5 is usually about control weight.
We had this discussion just a couple weeks ago at a clinic that we gave at our club for our existing members. We put one of those on every year. Just everybody can use a tune-up when they want to get a little bit better. So somebody asked me, I've been playing this game for a couple of years. What's normal weight? It's a good question. What's control weight? Another good question. I said you need to get together with your team and decide what that is.
Yeah.
Right? And most teams will use an accurate measuring system of some sort, and the best use is the stopwatch, and you time it from hog to hog, and you say, I'm comfortable throwing this speed, and you time it, and you get a number, and that number might be, let's say 10. And okay, let's call that normal weight.
Right.
There, that's normal weight.
That's normal weight.
For you and your team. But another player might be more comfortable with throwing it faster and say, my normal where I'm easier hitting the broom is 9 seconds instead of 10. So basically the answer to that question is work with your team to establish those weights and use some sort of measure system to determine what it is. So most teams will use the stopwatch system. You get a kick out of these teams from out west, throw easy.
Throw. Well, the unique thing.
Easy peel. Easy peel.
What's easy peel? Yeah. No. In 2009 at the Worlds in Moncton, the then who turned out to be champion, Team Scotland and David Nedowen, they were using radar in practice to
Radar.
to
Okay.
judge the speed coming out of the hack.
Okay. Yeah. Radar. You can't use that tool during the game.
No.
I don't have a pocket radar system that I know of, but interesting. But you would use that, I suppose, to develop the fine motor controls and sensitivity to what normal speed of
Exactly.
delivery would be. I'm a terrible person for judging me from back line to the hug line. I'm a big tall guy, right? And
Oh,
I get sort of unfolded. By the time I get unfolded,
you're at the T line.
I'm I'm past that already, and I find myself inconsistent in the ability to slide.
Yeah.
And I've worn a hole in my pants because I use that as a brake. Anyway, I've got to fix those up. Yeah, it's different systems to develop that control and consistency. We've seen Team Comeau here. Looks like they're wrestling with a bunch of yellow rocks down here in Team Kennedy, but they're ignoring them and they're going around that corner guard. This is good to see. I mean, we put up a corner guard for a reason. You should use it. This is possibly going to give him probably number 2. He's got to be really close to the 4-foot to get number 2 out of this. Looks like it's going to overcurl a bit. Pretty good shot, though. Dead behind the guard. And I'm going to bet, I wouldn't be surprised here that Mike Kennedy's team, Grant's going to call, let's play the freeze. Other teams would play the corner peel on this.
Yeah.
But these guys are soft touch players and they'll just draw. And they're very good at it. I would expect this one to be really close to the perfect freeze. Swoopers are on again, off again. Dance demonstrating some advanced sweeping dance ability down there. He's moving around the rock.
Oh yeah.
From side to side, keeping it straight, making it curl, getting it farther. Great dance moves on that shot if anybody wants to play the replay. Pretty good freeze too. I mean, I think he might be out counting that blue. It's really tough to call from here. Team Comeau, though, I think they're going to start using their hitting ability. They've got a blue in front of those 2 yellows. And when they... Oh, looks like a timeout.
We got a timeout here on...
Time.
Timeout, Charlie, blue.
Wish we could hear what they're suggesting. What do you think, Coach? What are they talking about? How hard to hit it? Where to hit it? Which angle? Where's it going to go?
And it's,
what are we having for lunch tomorrow? What
yeah. If I'm a coach and I hear that conversation, I know you've checked out of the game. But Alex here kind of in a unique situation because yes, he is a coach, but also a competitive player, so has to navigate that mentality a little bit during this type of situation as well.
Looking at all the angles here, and he's starting to talk about this other yellow rock that they just threw in. When we smash this back here, we can make that double. What happens to the blue? Where's it going? Well, if it just sits right there, we're going to leave a double for Kennedy. Essentially. Trying to generate at least a 2 out of this end, perhaps 3 if they can make a good hit and roll or something. Seems obvious to make some sort of hit. The question is how hard and
where do you want?
Seem to indicate we want to sort of hit it on the high side or out-turn side of this rock. Send it in that direction. It might get the left hand of that top rock, and then the magic happens. Suddenly they've envisioned that all the yellows are gone and we're lying 3 blue. That's the plan here, I think.
Yeah.
see what happens. Alex can certainly throw it hard enough to move 4 or 5 rocks. Another low altitude rock. Here it comes. Got a big dead square on the nose, I'd say. Didn't get the double in the black yellows. That may have surprised them. My timing of that was 6.1 seconds.
I think of only one person who could break the 5-second mark, and that was Jim Sullivan.
He could throw it that hard, could he? He was a big guy.
Big, tall guy.
Yep. Excuse me. Kennedy is just tapping the ice here. We're going to throw a guard. They really like this scenario.
Well, right now, how it's kind of setting up, Renee could get 2 or 3 and kind of be back in this.
Absolutely. The shot I'm liking right now, Steve, once he throws this guard, that sort of blue that was just thrown, or sorry, in the middle. Oh, it looks timeout.
Yeah.
White's taking his time out.
They're going to have a chat. The shot I'm seeing, yeah. Mark McCock is pointing this one out. He says, you know, guys, if they smoke this one right on the nose, what's going to happen? We tick off that yellow. We go right back on that shot rock in the 4-foot. You see that shot,
yeah.
Steve? Because they put the guard up front. Boom, smack. And you know what? That'll have some momentum going left.
Yeah.
Right, coming off that, and perhaps over there by that other side. So that's a bit of a danger shot. They're going to think about this one. What can we do to prevent that, right? Usually put another rock on the rings or move them around, change the angles. You know, there's no guarantees that he's going to make that exactly like that. It could be a little bit more centerline side and just drive it in on yellow, which would then hit the blue. It looks to me like they're going to do something with this blue rock sitting in the 8-foot. They're a little concerned about how the blues are building up here and they want to get rid of one. That's my guess. Yep, looks maybe like a normal weight hit. Or hair on the outside, maybe flop under that stuff. Well, Mike looks to come out of the hack pretty hard as well. Calling for it to curl. Maybe got it out a bit on the broom.
Is he going to do the shot? Is he
pinching that blue going across? This might not turn out well. Well, it didn't turn out that badly, actually.
No, that yellow is still.
Well, it got an angle set up now. The two blues are angled such a way that the shot rock's protected. I had an 8.1 second on that hit versus the other one. So
okay.
That's probably still a pretty good pace for
that's
the old guy.
That's a good peel weight, yeah.
Well, Renee's looking at possible double here. He's got enough of this this rock. He can see about half a rock. He's going to drive that in on the yellow, which will make that go away. And his shooter's coming across. He might make a double on the yellows and lie 4. Interesting. This will be at least 8 seconds, I think. It's going hard on that front blue. Oh boy, what a shot.
And kisses the yellow one.
Oh, he got the inside of the other yellow and didn't get enough of it. But I think he's lying 2, maybe 3.
2, maybe 3 here.
Wow.
And that certainly changes the water on the beans.
We got new bean water. Nose double, I think, is what Mike's looking at here. But if he makes the nose double, he's going to leave the cross house double.
For 3.
So they're thinking about this. They're thinking about maybe freezing. I don't think that'll be a great choice. They could play the similar shot to what Rene just did. So instead of making the double, they're looking at half rock and roll the shooter into the pocket over there. I think. Sometimes you know, shots seem obvious, and then you think about it for a second or two, and come down and find a better one.
I think we're, yeah. Mike here with some weight.
Good looking shot. A little bit on the outside.
Vance
Like
trying to
might
curl.
up to the nose double. Just. Oh, maybe not. Can't quite tell. It looks like the yellow on the left side is number 2, which means it's just a sleever and a draw for 2 points.
Draw for 2 points.
So Team Kennedy might be breathing a sigh of relief on that one. They're working hard on this one. It's down the middle as well, which might be a little tighter, a little slower at this stage of the game. No, they're getting
They got a
8
good
foot with no
scrub.
problem. Didn't quite a time on that one to see how much the ice is changing along that path.
They're going to take a look. I think their question. Nope. Rocks were moved.
I think it's 2 blue.
I think, yeah, it looked pretty close to being 2 blue. So we'll call it 2 blue, and we'll go to break. And if it's different, well, we'll just adjust the score on the screen.
Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer.
Good evening and welcome back to the Men's Provincial Curling Championship here at the Capital Winter Club in Fredericton, New Brunswick. We are in end number 8. Team Comeau clawing their way back into this with a 2 spot at the end of 7. Looked like it could have been 3, but upon further inspection by the 2 teams, it was deemed 2. have our first final to report on the night. Over on sheet 4, Team Kane picking up a mittful over Team Hansen. We see handshakes. It looked to be about 5, so we'll say right now it is a 12-4 romp. Team Kane continues on to tomorrow play. Team Hansen, unfortunately, their journey is done. And so we come back to our sheet. Team Comeau throwing the guard. And
nice guards, centerline guard. They're looking to throw the second guard up here. The Team Kennedy came right into the middle, but they did go deep, which may be a problem for them a bit later. They're going to have a second opportunity to get a yellow under cover, and certainly Mike will want this one above the tee line. It's calling for it. It's just full 8 foot actually, so he's trying to protect this back rock. I see the outturn side is quite wide open for Team Comeau to come around. If it were me, I think I'd want full 4 foot out of this one. But Mike's got a lot more games and championships than I do, so let's go with him. Got a nice pace is coming in. They're going to put it just biting the 4 foot. I think is where it might stop. Oh, a bit short of that. Right exactly where he tapped his broom. So this leaves the outturn come around for Team Comeau. And maybe Mike thinking a couple of plays ahead. He left that a little bit higher, knowing that the outturn was going to be there, and that'll give him the angle to push that right in and really get that that rock buried there. So Team Comeau will have to be a little bit careful where they put this. He's got his broom right on the pin, so he's looking for it there. A little bit short though. This is the stage of the game, I think, when the center is going to tighten up and the guys really have to be sharp with the right amount of draw weight. This leaves Kennedy with an opportunity to get another one under, and you noticed him coming to the outturn side. Now he's got full control of the in-turn side. If he can stick one in the 8 foot here, Team Comeau will have to change things up here a little bit. So they're out just a little bit farther again, still on good pebble, I think. Starting to break really well, into the middle. He's a hair perfect. Just a hair light.
Hair light.
They would have liked that in the 8 foot, because that sort of does still open the door for that draw. Kraus had that opportunity on the first one and a chance to do it again on the second, so he'll adjust his weight. So it'll be much closer. I got 15.08 on that one. Still a good speed again, but we're on the outside of the sheet here and still outside the 4 foot strip. And it's the center part of the rink that's curling more now. Vance Lecoq throwing his first rock. I'm sure they get a pretty good time on the last one. It's thrown by Team Comeau. They'll be pretty close on this. It looks like a little bit long.
Yeah, not really wanting to touch it.
1471, so theoretically this one should come down and bounce off that blue a little bit.
Both teams kind of caught throwing a little more weight than they wanted.
Well, it's tricky, you know. You just move in there about 6 inches more, and I think about a half second comes off it.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's just that stage and that path that is so tricky right now. Hard to do, to throw, half a second difference in weight and judge it. It all works together. and that you don't know exactly where that line is.
Yeah.
It's there somewhere, but and the closer you get to center, sort of the more it will break down and curl. I didn't get a time on this one, which I should stop talking and start doing. Really, really good looking speed here, and he's certainly to the inside of this yellow. This is a great shot. Great shot. And I think at this stage, Michael put another one in on top. He still has that yellow high in the 8 foot. And again, he was thinking 16 shots ahead of me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He called that in the 8 foot, and you see where it is and how it's going to be useful later in this end. Other teams might have come into the button. There's experience for you, folks.
Timeout. Timeout. Blue. Bravo.
He's coming down this side to attempt to control this part of the house. If he can put another one in this 8 foot area, even would be fine.
That one just not.
It could be short. See, they just can't quite get that weight. That's still in the fast zone. He's throwing weight like it should be going down the middle.
Yeah.
Right, and that's still speeding up. Now, the other thing that's happening, we've had 4 rocks down this path. The more rocks you throw on a path, just a slightly quicker each one becomes. Yeah, curling's an easy game, isn't it? Jeez.
Yep. Behind the glass, I make all my shots.
Oh, haven't missed one yet. I may have misclicked a little bit. I've got a 14.6 on this. Okay. Mr. Kyle should be. Sorry. Saw him tap the ice there with his broom
Yeah.
in front of the rock. Not a good habit. You need to tap that. I know he's just trying to flatten out the head and get it angled up right. Don't tap it in front of the rock.
Do it beside.
Please do it beside, not in front, please, when you're trying to possibly slow a rock down. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose, but some teams won't take it that way. So Team Kennedy is looking at a couple of blues in front of the yellow because the rock slipped in too far. So this is starting to look like danger for Kennedy, but he's going to leave that other yellow tap on the other side for later. It's next one. Later isn't too many. There's not many left. Grant's calling for, I think, back 12 weight. I think they're right on that tricky line of sensitivity here for speed.
So Aldridge still has his timeout.
Finish away, good stroke, Mike, in the sweep. 15.03 I got on this, Steve.
So yeah,
Which as it moves into the middle might be a little bit light.
and it's gonna grind to a halt right there.
Yeah, he's in a good spot to tap it up, though. Both of those rocks are in great position. He's got control of both sides of the ice. So that's going to be bothering Rene's team here at the moment. What do we do with that, right? How can we get our blues inside of that? Well, right now blue is lying number 1.
And they're opting to play the guard.
Well, and for good reason, of course. Can't really leave that tap.
No.
But he can't protect both sides either. So.
Exactly.
You know, Team Kennedy is certainly total control of this end. They might not be lying 1, but they got the hammer. They're up 2, and they get rocks on both sides, so they can definitely get one in and score a point here. This rock is out just a little bit further again, so it should be on good pebble, sliding nicely. And then it'll grind up a little bit as it moved into the 4-foot strip.
And there we go.
So here we are. Mike put his second rock at the end right in that spot in the 8-foot. Instead of calling it in deeper, and look how useful it is at skip rock's position. I just wrote that in my notebook, Steve.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're playing checkers, he's playing chess.
Absolutely. can see sort of this was a bit of an easy shot, essentially, to angle that in a bit. Doesn't want to hit it too hard because his shooter will roll out. Really just enough to bump it to the bite in the button. You'd think he could smash it in there and everything would be great, but he would just open a hole for them to draw in again.
Yeah.
So the important part here in this shot is not throw it too hard and keep his shooter around. Needs a little more ice, as he indicated from the hack. Now this side of the ice hasn't been played the entire end. Sometimes that can have an effect on the time. Rock may curl a bit more sometimes. Oh, he's got a pretty good spot. Taps that to the button, number 1, and he left his shooter right there. So suddenly it was looking good for Team Comeau, and now it's looking, how do we even get one out of this? He's going to throw a guard and go to the next end. He's his plan. Pretty good shot by Team Kennedy there.
Yeah, and as you said, that was all set up by rock number 2 being punked right there.
Yep. Absolutely. Great shot. Great thinking by the skip there to get that in position. We might see the next rock throwaway. Unless he, well, I think crafty Mr. Kennedy is going to play the blue tap yellow.
Blue tap yellow, sit 2.
I don't think he can hurt himself. I
don't think that there's any chance of hurting themselves either.
I've said that many times and had the opposite outcome, but it doesn't look like if you could push that blue in any way that would cause it to spin into the button. Just if you threw it hard, certainly, but he's not going to do that. He's going to throw this with hack weight. About a 12-second. Say it's going to be about a 12-second. It'll narrow it up a bit. Right on this line of sensitivity where it might fudge up a little bit, might run a bit. Who knows? That's what the sweeping's for, I guess. Little adjustments. Fine-tune the adjustments. A good friend of mine says sweeping's for errors.
Yeah.
12.19 is his throw. And he did exactly
And
as
does
planned.
exactly that.
A little angle push. Looks like 2 yellow to me. Great shot by Team Kennedy. That'll take a 4-point lead into the 9th end. What do you think we're going to see out of Team Kennedy this end? Will he play that chunky style of game again, or is he into rip and tear mode?
He's rip and tear mode at this point, I would think.
Okay, let's see what happens. First one's going to the 4-foot. So, assuming that Team Comeau throws a guard, what's the second shot? We'll know right away. He'll probably throw that rock a bit on top of that.
Yeah.
And he'll get 2 in the 4-foot. He won't throw one in the hack. He won't waste a rock in that sense. Team Comeau will throw the second guard.
And then it's kind of game on after that.
Well, then we'll see whether Mike will throw that one in the hack. and avoid guards and clutter. Get into appealing mode. This one's going to come up a little shorter than planned. I kind of wanted that one in the house. This is another guard for Team Comeau. Saw last time that Team Comeau tried a 2-guard corner guard system. Oh, Mike doesn't like that yellow out front. Here's an indication of the rip and tear.
Yep.
Plan for this end.
Yeah, with that rock not making it all the way down it.
Well, however, Grant's been throwing a lot of draws and he's been throwing a lot of peels. And that little out turn he just tossed out there got a little bit.
Fed the chickens.
He fed the chickens, yeah. We call that the old chicken arm.
Yeah.
Chicken arm on the out turn, but you're feeding the chickens on the in turn. That's what I like to think of it. Anyway, a good chicken play for sure.
Yeah.
Grant's not really happy with himself. I'm sure he's quite a competitor. It's just a simple rock on the center line. How hard could it be, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those are the shots I find.
Absolutely.
Out
So
the
here
wings,
they are.
out in the wings, make them all day. As soon as you ask me to
Yeah.
throw it down the center line, I'm
So he had a miss. He got 2 corner guards, so he's going to play a little defense here by playing offense, which is a little split on the front, the middle, protect or block up the corners a little bit. Got a push in, but not the split they were looking for. So I think in Team Kennedy's mind here, it's just too much clutter at this stage, boys. We only got 2 ends to play, and we're 4 up. Let's try to clean some stuff up here. Team Comeau getting excited by the clutter. 2 corner guards take advantage. I think we might see the peel on the corner guard this time from Team Kennedy.
Perhaps have.
But they can see at least half of it. They're going to go after it.
Team Eldridge put up the score for the last end. Team Eldridge put the score for the last end.
Well, we've seen another miss here by Team Kennedy. That's the second one this end. A little unexpected, I think, from Vance Lecoq. He got a little wide of that one. Again, they've been playing some softer stuff and not so many hits. So, not that I would expect it, but not so surprised. You know, he should have been narrow with that one, make sure he hit the guard at least. So he's not happy with himself at the moment. Don't get frustrated, I like to say.
Yeah, Mike was just indicating that it was a little up, so
A little up, a little,
yeah,
okay.
little more than what they were anticipating.
Team Comeau jumping on the
3
opportunity.
in
for
on
the
this,
second one.
trying to drag it in,
He's in there.
and
that
they
one
did
was
get
a
it there.
Great shot. Grant's narrowed up the ice a little bit here, I think. Probably asked for the same weight. Got a different shooter this time too. Mark Lecoq is third, throwing the first one. Nice soft touch here. Mark will make a hit here. Probably roll
Probably off the
towards
top
middle.
one.
Yeah, I think he's got the top one. Roll to the middle.
Does it stop? Pretty much. No, it's half open.
Kennedy for the 8th end put the score up.
think the call was the hit on the outside when it rolled to the center. Looks like Alex might have been a little bit narrow with that one. Good thing it didn't curl as much as the other side of the sheet. So they held it, rolled to the back. Good shot.
That was the big thing, is making sure you stuck that one around.
Yep. Team Kennedy will play a similar shot to the last one. Probably want to hit this one a little bit more this time instead of so thin. You don't need to roll very far. Sure don't want to hit the long guard this time. They'd like to eliminate a blue. Good sweeping. Nice shot. I think should be number 2.
It does appear to be that way.
This one seems to be hanging out near the center line. That's sort of the straight spot that Vance Cox Rock was at. Looks like it's going to run right by this yellow and take the blue off the back. Alex and team won't be happy with that outcome. That was starting to build an in for blue, and that's a disaster.
Yeah.
Right there.
No. Wheels are falling off the apple cart, unfortunately, by the looks of it.
I think Grant's looking at this one, wondering how to deal with this situation. I think that he's making a great choice, the out-turn. One might go with the natural in-turn to go around the stagger, but that may leave an opportunity for Team Comeau to come down and on the same path. Instead, he's going to the out-turn side, leave half exposed, get him in that, what they call that Christmas tree position.
Yes.
And they can't sort of hit and roll under in that sense, so they'll go after the outside of a rock. He may hit that yellow to the left and try to roll into the Christmas tree like a little present.
Yep. My new PS5.
yeah. So that's sort of, he was a bit short on the weight there, or the line maybe he was not great. So they're either going to draw in around this, or in, as he just indicated, hit and roll to the 4-foot. They can roll just to the center line. They'll be in a great spot to possibly set up a 2 here. Even it's going to be tight on the 4-foot. But no, looks like the in-turn draw. That's what he's going for. This part we saw early in the game was curling quite a bit towards that center line, so he's got to be positive to the broom here. Also right on that weight sensitive line. I would expect need about a 14.4. Like
somewhere around there, yes.
It's a bit light to me. Boys thinking it's a bit light too. They've been on it since it was out of his hand. Light will make it curl a bit more too, and I think the line is, I got a 15.22. I think that's not enough speed to get there. Good work with the sweepers though. Almost had the weight. I think it might have got in there if they didn't tick that rock. And now he's caused a problem because he's taken that in-turn draw away.
Yeah, and
they make a little tap here. He's going to be left with, well.
He does have the out-turn tap on that blue.
You're right. Yep. Come across it.
Yeah.
And push it towards the button. Absolutely. As their rocks are sitting, I wonder if he could throw it hard enough to make a triple there.
Oh.
What do you think? That middle rock's probably not going anywhere.
No, it's probably not. And
this is a great looking shot by Mike Kennedy. He's going to tap this one to the button area. Sorry. Boys, there's a lot of clutter there, and I think that out-turn tap is probably the shot that they need to play. unless they throw it with a little bit of weight and play it off of that other one. And look at that, they're looking at the big heater. Did you see
Oh
the
yeah.
math trigonometry sets coming out for this one to figure if we can make all of these go? Oh, here we go. This one hits there. That one's over there. If I hold my arm in the air this way, it might happen.
Yeah. Need to
So
make
how hard do I have to throw it? Oh, about a 4.5.
yeah, and they need to make this decision in a hurry because they're down to 3 minutes and 5 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the Kennedy rink's down to about 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So
They're going to be heating her up down in the 8th end, aren't they? Or 10th end?
yeah.
They'll be jumping in the hack and throwing it quick. I think this is the shot of the game here, Steve. If he doesn't make this one and score, I think they're going to be shaking hands. There's 4 down. He's got a great opportunity, of course, but I think he's trying to come up with a quadruple hit here for a 2-ender, I think is the math he's worked out on this one. Looks a little tight on the inside. Maybe he's close. Didn't have the volume in the... That's it. Handshake time.
And we have handshakes here.
Game over on Charlie.
Looking to be a 10-5 decision here for Team Kennedy. Team Comeau dropping down to C bracket. Team Kennedy moving on. 11-5. So Team Kennedy moving on to the B bracket. I guess our journey continues there. So we'll go to break. Camera up, and it's looking like end number 10 is underway over on sheet 1. So we'll pick up that action over there.
Proud supporters of Curling NB. Hoop Lasso. Visit www.hooplasso.ca to learn about our mineralizer and to find a retailer near you. BrokerLink Insurance. BrokerLink has a group rate for members of Curling NB. Visit www.brokerlink.ca to get your quote today. The Brennan Icebreaker. The Jake Thomas Celebrity Curling Classic. The Government of New Brunswick. The Curling NB Hall of Fame. Visit www.facebook.com/CNBHOF for all information regarding the Curling NB Hall of Fame and this year's nominations. Egg Farmers Rocks and Rings Program. Visit www.rocksandrings.com to bring the Rocks and Rings program to your school's gymnasium or community function. Sport New Brunswick. Visit www.sportnb.com to learn more. Coaching Association of Canada. Visit www.coach.ca to learn more. And Curling Canada. Visit www.curling.ca to view all future upcoming events.
Good evening and welcome back. And we do have handshakes on sheet 2 as well. Team Dalrymple taking the victory, picking up, I believe, 1 in 10. So we pick up the action happening on sheet 1. Team Jones leads 9-6, with Team Brody Hansen having hammered. Team Jones currently sitting first and second, playing the Yellowstones. And Team Hansen with Bluestones sitting in the back house there.
an outside sheet here at Capital Winter Club, sheet 1. Any sort of differences in this sort of side of the sheet, Steve?
Not anymore. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
We've done a lot of work extensively on the outside of the building with insulation and stuff like that, so the cold doesn't creep into the boards and stuff like that. So
Excellent.
So curl both ways, inside and out, and from the boards as well. So
Very nice. Quality curling conditions here at Capital Winter Club. Boy, the members must appreciate all the work you guys do on this.
they certainly do, and I know I appreciate a lot of the work that Joe and his team do to give us the ice conditions that we have. That one.
Well, looks like the situation here is Jones leading by 3 points without hammer, and currently lying 2. Henson needs to do some work here. There's only a couple of rocks left to come. Looks like the last meets rocks or third stone. I'm going to try to play a hit and roll inside here. Maybe make it double. Need 3 points. You need to manufacture 3 here somehow. He's got a nice hit and roll. Rolling over. Very good shot.
Very good
right
shot.
Behind the guard. Eliminated one of the rocks and actually brought his other blue rock into third stone position, counting wise. Team Jones will have to be careful how they approach this one. I think if they play the run back, you know, and they don't touch one of those blue rocks, that will allow Team Hansen to come around and sit on that back one, push it a couple inches and fly 3. So a good option here, or another option if you're an aggressive player.
Yes.
You could just come right around and place a freeze on that rock that's in the forefoot. And that'll make the end a lot simpler for you. Only a couple rocks left to play and you'd be counting number 2 as a frozen. And how does Team Hansen make 3 out of that? Instead, they're going to run the guard back here and attempt to take out one of these blues. If he doesn't make the blue, he's going to be looking at 3 on his last shot. Guarantee it. I've watched these guys play for a while, and I'm sure he'll be very close on this. It's running, didn't make the curl he was looking for, but he's going to get a piece of that number 3 rock, and I think that'll make it very difficult for Team Hansen to score 3. Best shot he could do would be to line it up perfectly on that back yellow. Freeze on his own shot, lined right up on the back, and
Yeah.
yeah,
It gets jammed and you get that free draw to the 4 foot for 3.
yep. Any sort of angle will be a simple hit for Team Jones. Rocks coming down, they're working it pretty well. Just coming into view here on the screen. We're just inside the hog line. So they're working it hard, trying to get that nose freeze. Looks like it's over curling just a shade light. So they're going to be on the rings and therefore mathematically involved in a tie. But Jeremy Millay and Team Jones here will make a quick run back. Anything could happen, though, folks. We could just double jam, double stuff.
You double stuff it, and then all of a sudden, you still have that
It's like,
freebie.
why did I throw that?
Yeah, just had to make one go away. I've done that.
I could just, I mean, if he doesn't throw, right? How do they make 3 out of that? I guess they make the crosshouse double then. So, yeah, you got to throw this for sure. And this looks like a simple execution down the center line, a little bit on the high side.
And just like that.
She wrote.
And like that, concessions here on sheet 1. Team Jones defeating the other Hansen, Brody Hansen, 9-6. To set things up for tomorrow morning, we have one game at 9:30, and it is the A qualifier final. That is, of course, with James Grattan from the Gage Golf and Curling Club, and this kid called Jamie Stewart. You might know him there, Jeff.
I might know him. I don't know him a lot now. He lives somewhere else. Here at UNB, it's the UNB Reds.
Yes, that's right too. It is the UNB Reds team that placed second at the US sport here in March. And then, of course, the A final will be at 9:30 here on the sheet. We will be here live with Curl MB Live. This has been a Curl MB Live production. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Proud supporters of Curling NB. Hoop Lasso. Visit www.hooplasso.ca to learn about our mineralizer and to find a retailer near you. BrokerLink Insurance. BrokerLink has a group rate for members of Curling NB. Visit www.brokerlink.ca to get your quote today. The Brennan Icebreaker. The Jake Thomas Celebrity Curling Classic. The Government of New Brunswick. The Curling NB Hall of Fame. Visit www.facebook.com/CNBHOF for all information regarding the Curling NB Hall of Fame and this year's nominations. Egg Farmers Rocks and Rings Program. Visit www.rocksandrings.com to bring the Rocks and Rings program to your school's gymnasium or community function. Sport New Brunswick. Visit www.sportnb.com to learn more. Coaching Association of Canada. Visit www.coach.ca to learn more. And Curling Canada. Visit www.curling.ca to view all future upcoming events.
Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso. Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplaso all-purpose mineralizer.